NPP prepares for the biggest Sramadana. Other parties turn lethargic. Gammanpila's firecracker speciality. A diplomat who predicted election result accurately.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
NPP prepares for the biggest Sramadana. Addressing the NPP's inaugural election campaign in Tangale last week, President AKD told the country to prepare for a Sramadana out of the ordinary. The biggest Sramadana in the Sri Lankan history is taking place on 14th November. That is the Sramadana to Purity Parliament, he said. Even before that Sramadana happens, more than 60 have left on their own. Furthermore, Rajapaksas are not contesting for the first time in 88 years, said AKD at the event in the bastion of that family. An interesting meeting. The rally also saw a meeting between the first MP and the first president from the JVP. That ex-MP is Nihal Galapati, who got elected in 1994 under the Progressive Front with flowerpot symbol. He handed in nominations to contest the 1994 presidential polls too, but withdrew after getting a written undertaking by CBK to abolish the executive presidency. The first MP of the JVP had to wait 30 years to see a president elected from his party. AKD's Clean Lanka. AKD attended rallies in Katunayake and Homagama yesterday, where he referred to a program called Clean Sri Lanka. It will create a country for the future generations to live in happiness, he said, adding a task force will be appointed for its implementation. Other parties turn lethargic. It could be due to the weather, but the past week was somewhat lackluster on the political front. Whatever reported was mainly about infighting. Even the competition for preferential votes is yet to happen in a big way. There are more reports of nomination issues in a number of parties. Gas Cylinder and SJB too in counter trouble. Former councillor Kithsiri didn't get nominations from Gas Cylinder to contest for Colombo. Undercutting is attributed to the omission of Ratnapriya too. The SJB continues to be troubled similarly. First, it was Manaparuma, who withdrew, although his name was included in the list for Gampaha. Damitha, aka Lak Amma, still licks her wounds following her rejection. Last Sunday's Deshaya has the following piece of gossip about her. The party big shots discussed the fate that befell her. It was said their boss and the general secretary deceived her. One recalled how the leading female type in the area left the party because of her. Another said she did a very bad thing by misleading them too. They decided to appoint a committee to inquire into her complaint, where the lie told by her was to be raised as well. Herun Ready's for the game. Herun sent in her resignation as national organiser of Samagi Wanitha Balawegaya last week. Later, she told journalists that she didn't want to inconvenience her leader Sajith by that. Sajith got the matter settled after refusing to accept her resignation. Now, Herun is readying for the campaign in the district with the slogan of Eyayi Gehenia, or She is the Woman. Several past activists rejected by the SJB are contesting from rival parties this time. Ranjan is one of them. His party has also given nominations to Panchami Hewawi Senthi, a former Ceylon Today journalist who had been close to both Sajith and Jalani. Fluent in 3 languages, she is vying in Kalutara along with Dilshan under microphone. SJB bigwigs come to Lucky's defence. Anyway, Lucky is blamed for most of the troubles in the party. But Sajith and Madhuma Bandara come to his defence. They say they cannot comment in public how much of service he has been to the party. In short, it was Lucky who played the game with India to our advantage. He also got Namal to contest. He found money for the campaign too. He did all that not for personal gains or to enter parliament, but for the party, they said. So, Lucky's opponents keep mum, but mutter very bad things about him under their breath. Gammanpila's firecracker speciality. Gammanpila fired up the otherwise dull politics by giving an ultimatum to the government. He gave 7 days for the Imam and Alwis reports into the Easter Sunday attacks to be made public. Or else, the PHU leader said, He would do it himself to bring the people back to reality from their state of intoxication over AKD's election. AKD ridicules it. AKD didn't take that challenge well and said they wouldn't fall for Gammanpila, who does a contract given him by those behind the attacks. He told a rally in Katunayake on Sunday that he had no intention of covering up that crime. Gammanpila's attempts to sabotage the probe won't be allowed, AKD said firmly. The IGP and the CID have been told to investigate the attacks properly, he added. Gammanpila says he has nothing to hide.
අපි මහජන ආරක්ෂාව පිළිබඳ අමාත්‍යංශ ලේකම්වරයා හැටියට පොලිස් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව වැඩ කරනකොට ඉතාමත් කීර්තිමත් ඉතිහාසයක් තියෙන මහත්මයෙක් පත් කරලා තිබෙනවා. ඒ වගේ පරීක්ෂණ සඳහා අපේ රටේ පරීක්ෂණ මෙහෙයවීම සඳහා අත්දැකීම් තියෙන අය නැවත බඳවගෙන තිබෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? අපි මේ වැළලී ගිය පරීක්ෂණ විධිමත්ව ඉටු කිරීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය වෙන ආයතන පද්ධතිය සක්‍රිය කරලා තිබෙනවා, ගොඩනගලා තිබෙනවා. දැන් ඒකට කට්ටිය කලබල වෙලා තියෙනවා. 2019 පාස්කු පහරින් බලය ගන්න පාස්කු පහර මතුර ගියපු අය අවුරුදු 5කට පස්සේ නැවත කොමා තත්වයෙන් අවදි වෙලා. අවුරුදු 5ම කොමා. දැන් අවදි වෙලා කියනවා අර වාර්තාව දෙන්න, මේ වාර්තාව දෙන්න. අවුරුදු 5ක් කොමා. ඒ වාර්තා දෙකම රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහගේ වාර්තා. එකක් රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ channel 4 නාලිකාවේ ගියපු වීඩියෝ පට පිටම පරීක්ෂණ කිරීම සඳහා කමිටුවක් පත් කරා. ඒ කිසිසේත්ම විමර්ශන කමිටුවක් නෙවෙයි, කමිටුවක් පත් කරලා වාර්තාවක් දීලා තිබෙනවා. දෙවැනි එක පාස්කු පහරේදී ආරක්ෂක අංශවලින් යම් මැදිය වැරද්දක් සිදු වුණාද කියලා විමසා බලන්න තව කමිටුවක් පත් කරලා තිබෙනවා. ඒ දෙකම විමර්ශන කමිටු නෙවෙයි. ඒක රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ පත් කරලාද කමිටු. රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහගේ වමනාව තිබුණේ මේ පරීක්ෂණයේ ඇත්ත දිශාවට යොමු කිරීම නෙවෙයි, යටපත් කිරීම. ඒ වමනාවෙන් තමයි සමහර කමිටු නිර්මාණය කරේ. ඒ නිසා අපි නැවත අපි බලය අරගෙන ඉතා කෙටි දවසකින් අපි පොලිස්පතිවරයාටත් අපරාධ පරීක්ෂණ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවටත් උපදෙස් ලබා දුන්නා පාස්කු පහරේ පිළිබඳව විධිමත් පරීක්ෂණය ආරම්භ කරන්න කියලා. අන්න එතකොට කොමා වෙලා හිටපු අය අවදි වුණා. විධිමත් පරීක්ෂණයට බයයි. මේක කඩාකප්පල් කරන්න ඕන. මේකට අකුල් වෙලන්න ඕන. ඇත්ත දිශාව වෙනස් කරන්න ඕන. වෙන සමාජ මතයක් නිර්මාණය කරන්න ඕන. මෙන්න මේ කූට උවමනාව වෙනුවෙන් කොමා වෙලා හිටපු අය අවදි වෙලා ඉන්නවා. හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න. මේ පුද්ගලයාගේ මේ මැදිහත් වීම තිබෙන්නේ පාස්කු පහරේ සැබෑ වරදකරුවන් හොයා ගැනීම සඳහා උවමනාව නෙවෙයි. මේ පුද්ගලයාගේ මේ උවමනාව තිබෙන්නේ සැබෑ වරදකරුවන් සංගවන්න. ඒගොල්ලගේ කුලී කොන්ත්‍රාත් එකක් මේ ඉටු කරන්නේ. ඒ නිසා අපි ඒවට යට වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. ඒවට හිර වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. පාස්කු පහරේ පිළිබඳව සාධාරණ පරීක්ෂණ ඉටු කරලා මේ රටේ ජනතාවට ඇත්ත එළිදරව් කරනවා. අපිට මොනවද හංගන්න තියෙන්නේ? අපිට කවුද බේරන්න තියෙන්නේ? හංගන්න ඉන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට. බේරන්න ඉන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට. ඒ නිසා මතක තබා ගන්න. නැවත ඒ සෙල්ලම් කරන්න පුළුවන් 2015 රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහත් එක්ක. කිසි දෙයක් හරියට කරගන්න ඉඩ නොදී නේද පෙරලන බාල්දියට පැටලි වැටි තමයි රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ ගමන් කරේ 2015. මතක තියාගන්න මේ ජාතික ජන බලවේගය අපි පෙරලන බාල්දි වලට පැටලෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. හරිද? බාල්දි පෙරලන අයට ඉඩ දෙන්නෙත් නැහැ.
Anyway, some wonder as to why Gammanpila is suddenly bringing up this issue in a big way. It is said that he tries to hang on to something to get his parliament hopes realised. Others say the two reports may have made mention about certain pro-NPP figures. Some question the government's silence and the opposition by the Cardinal and Father, Cyril Gamini. The deadline given to the government to make the two reports public ended at 10 o'clock this morning.
මේ වාර්තාවේ 41 වෙනි පිටුවේ කියනවා සාපරාධී නොසලකිල්ල මත රවි සෙනවිරත්න මහතාට අපරාධ නඩු පවරා දඬුවම් කළ යුතුයි කියලා. එහෙමනම් පාස්කු ප්‍රහාරයේ ප්‍රධාන චුදිතයෙක් බවට පත් වෙන්න ඕනි රවි සෙනවිරත්න මහතා තමයි පාස්කු ප්‍රහාරය පිළිබඳ විමර්ශනය කරන පොලිසියේ ලොකුම පුටුවේ දැන් වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්නේ. මෙයාගේ අධීක්ෂණය යටතේ පාස්කු ප්‍රහාරය පිළිබඳ අලුතින් කරනවාය කියන විමර්ශනයේ සිදු කරොත් පාස්කු වින්දිතයන්ට සාධාරණ ඊට වේවිද?
FSP's revelations on 5 investigations. In the meantime, the FSP urges the government to make use of the 5 investigation reports already available and finalise justice. Its activist, Jaya Goda, says those reports contain clear information to expose everything behind the 2019 terror attacks. One thing is clear, the Easter Sunday attacks will continue to be a key campaign topic at the upcoming election too. Wasantha is confident of 125 seats. NPP's Anuradhapura leader, Samaradana, is confident they can secure more than 125 seats to form a stable government. His colleague Lanka opines that shortcomings in the state sector should be rectified to bring things on the correct path. A new government alone cannot create a new country expected by the people. People, state sector and the government need to work together for that. Only that can help build the developed country expected by the people, he said. The SLPP, too, is now on the campaign trail. A majority of its candidates are newcomers. Among them are former heads and members of LG bodies. A big shot at Nelam Mawatha says Mahinda will attend rallies in Hambantota and other selected districts only. But Rajapaksa family sources say no major rallies will take place and thousands of smaller pocket meetings will be organised instead. Namal is supervising the campaign, giving more leverage for the digital media aspect. Mahinda gets a call in Tangale. Mahinda was at Carlton House, Tangale, last week to oversee the campaign work in the area. In the meantime, a team of state officials arrived at his official place at Wijarama Mawatha in Colombo. He was told that Presidential Secretariat officials want to discuss the return of his official vehicles. Mahinda told his men to inform the officials that he would be back by Friday and the vehicles can be returned by Saturday. "I'll return everything. I won't keep anything. I am a president who led the end to a war. If my vehicles are recalled, I want the government to account for my security," he said. Nora Elia heats up. Reports say the election campaign is quite tense in Nora Elia. Thondaman, who contests under Elephant, told the people that they voted at the presidential polls as per the wishes of their children. He asked them to place their trust in the CWC and vote for Elephant at the general election. Digambaram, who leads the SJB alliance there, is a strong critic of the NPP. He says NPP candidates consist of doctors, lawyers and teachers who are fit for their professions only and not for politics. Anyway, the NPP has given nominations to estate youths such as Ambika Samuel this time. A diplomat who predicted election result accurately. A top diplomat in Colombo accurately predicted the result just a few days before the presidential election was held. He told a party leader that he would gain so many votes and went on to predict the entire result. His prediction proved to be correct once results were out. When that party leader inquired as to how he did it, the top diplomat gave him the name of a world-renowned intelligence organisation and said it supplied him with the information for his accurate prediction. A monk who looks for a party. A monk, quite controversial and one-time MP, seems silent these days, says Deshaya in a gossip column. It says he makes visits in search of a party to contest from. Claiming to have foreign funding, he reached out to several parties, but got rejected due to his past record of crossovers. He is not giving up and still goes to party offices on a daily basis in a bid to get a place for himself. That's it for today.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.